There are two kinds of people in this world. The people who fail to do what they know they should, and those who keep doing things they know they shouldn't. Guess what? You're both. Hi, I'm your podcast host and life and business coach, Marcy Barker, aka your loving kick in the pants. In this podcast, I'll teach you the 6 steps of my accountability code framework that will enable you to wake up with clarity and show up with aligned action steps that make follow through easy and peaceful. When you're ready for more, head to marcybarker.com and we'll chat about your next goal. All right, let's dive in. Hello, my beautiful people. I want to give you a little taste of what the Marketer's Cruise was like. And I don't think I talked a lot about this on my podcast last year that I went, but this year I decided to go back because I wanted to work on my book that is called Becoming Boss Minded. I started writing it on December 1st, and by the time I got to January 10th, I was at 30,000 words, and I decided that if I could leave my family for 8 or 9 days and get fed and relax, then I could write a lot more. And I was totally right. I wrote another 30,000 words in 7 days. So I was really excited to get that done. I made significant progress on the book, and I'm excited to bring it all to you very, very soon. I do not have a launch date for it yet, but stay tuned and I'll be sure to let you know when that drops. But in the Marketer's Cruise, there are like 400 different business owners, entrepreneurs, marketers, aspiring entrepreneurs who come together and they learn and they get to play. So this is advertised as 70% play and 30% work. And I really enjoyed going with my sister Jenny last year, but this year I was solo. And it was really nice to already know what to expect. That way, when I looked at the schedule, I could decide if I wanted to attend that session or not. And it's interesting for somebody who is so extroverted as I am to really lean into FOMO and realize I don't need to have FOMO. I can decide where I need to be and where I want to be and totally be okay with that situation. So I enjoyed my time on the cruise. I did not take an elevator one time. I did not eat any sugar the whole time. And I came home weighing less than when I left. So there were so many things that made it a win for me. In this Marketer's Cruise, they have you put your name in the directory. So you put a bio, a gift, what you're looking for, your website, all of that. And last year I added my bio and I kind of got spammed by a few people, which they say is against the rules, but there was a few people who didn't listen. So this year I came onto the cruise as a late person. I did not book my ticket until, people were looking for roommates to add people on. And I did not put my name in the directory this time just because it was a quick deadline to be in the online directory. And I was like, I'm just going to meet who I'm going to meet. And I'm not going to put all my information out there for everybody. But because I wasn't in the directory, I just knew that people weren't going to learn about me unless I made them learn about me. And one thing that I do enjoy in the Marketer's Cruise is everybody gets 30 seconds to say who they are and what they do, and they are serious about it. They're like, if you waste half your time saying, I'm so glad to be here, or, look, I see my friends, blah, 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 they're like, we're going to cut you off. So with all of the time that I was in BNI, I had to practice. I mean, every single week you do a commercial. It's either, 30 or 45 seconds, and you look real dumb if you can't stay under your time. So I'm always making sure that I'm staying under my time. And with 400 people in the room, they gave 3 hours for everybody to do it. And if you do the math, 3 hours is not enough time for all the people to do it. So you also want to pay attention to what people say as their 30 seconds. So if you're in line, then it kind of makes it hard to take notes. So I knew this because of attending last year. So I knew that as soon as they opened the mics, I was going to get up and do it. So I think I was third in line, and my 30-second commercial or introduction, let me see if I can remember it. But I said, hi, I'm Marcy Barker. I'm not in the directory anywhere. And I am a life and business coach, and I specialize in strategy, execution, and accountability for business owners. Raise your hand if you're doing things you know you shouldn't. And raise your hand if you're not doing things you know you should. Well, it sounds like you could wake up and show up with your loving kick in the pants. I am looking for speaking opportunities to help businesses and individuals make follow through easy and peaceful. I'm Marcy Barker, life and business coach. So I got up and I held my book, and, people are like, woo, I set the bar perfectly because I stayed under time and I was very clear and I was memorable. Like people raised their hand when I asked those questions, and it kind of makes them chuckle because you make people realize that, oh yeah, they're not doing stuff that they that they know they need to do to grow their business, or they're giving into distractions that are making it tough. So I enjoyed the 30 seconds. I always do, but one thing that I do and I teach my clients is that if there is an open mic or an opportunity for you to speak into it out to the room, you totally need to find an excuse to do that. So another section of the cruise, they have a Q&A section where somebody can get up and ask a question, and then they'll take 5 responses from people in the audience too. So I enjoyed sharing my question, so I got in line, but when I was in line, they have questions on one microphone and then they have answers on the other side. And I was like, I don't know how to get to the other side without like walking in front of the stage. But I had a few answers and I just walked behind the screen on the stage and it was totally fine. It didn't look bad at all, but somebody's like, oh, she's got lots of answers. And it was good too because one thing that I enjoy doing is when I have the mic and I'm making eye contact with people in the mic and people are nodding their heads like, yes, they're agreeing with what you're saying. So that is something that I like because anytime you take the mic, instead of me trying to meet 400 people, me taking the mic allows people to come and find me. So the connections are better because there's already a reason that people are coming up to you, not just like, hey, who are you and what do you do? So there was one answer where a guy, he sells this patch that, is supposed to make you healthier at the cellular level and all of that. But they also claim, all these reps claim that they focus on health and wealth. But they say wealth because they're just trying to have people build teams with their downline and all that. It's fine, but everybody has their opinions on direct sales and multi-level marketing and all that stuff. So I was talking with this guy at a different time throughout the ship, and he was, anytime that somebody hears I have a Facebook group that's highly engaged, that's something that they want to be a part of or take advantage of. And so this guy was like, oh yeah, with your audience, you could promote this thing and make a lot of money really quickly. And I was just like, okay, like you don't tell them that's the stupidest idea ever. Or like, you don't even know what I do, so why are you telling me that? But the guy was nice, and I think I met him last year too, but he got up to the mic and he said, he's looking for people with large followings that he can help get more wealthy and he can add people to his downline. And I got up and I basically said, you have to speak to people who are one gap away from buying with you. Like you have to find people who are 80% already interested in the message that you're sharing, because just because somebody has a large following doesn't mean that they want to start selling health patches and start building a team with downlines. So you have to find people who are already converted to the idea of direct sales and possibly multi-level marketing, and you need to find people who already care about health and wellness enough to start sharing it with their people. So he thought that was really helpful, and you could tell the people in the room thought it was helpful as well. So it's opportunities like that where you get to share your expertise and kind of notify the room what you're all about, and it will attract people to you. So I was in line and there was a lot of people in line, but luckily I got to ask my question before it got cut off. And in just a second, I will play you the recording of my question and the answers. So it's actually really fun. So I'm glad I recorded it for you guys to hear that. But before you hear my question and the responses, I wanted to tell you about one other section of the Marketer's Cruise. And this is called Cool Tools, Hot Links, and Resources. And this is just where anybody can get up and for 30 seconds share a resource that would help other business owners. And they said you could share strategies as well. So I got up and I shared a few things, all based on how to increase engagement within your business, because that's something that I'm really good at. And I know how to monetize audiences. So I shared a few strategies, and every time you share a strategy, you got to get in the back of the line. So people noticed that once I was done sharing a strategy, I went right to the back of the line. And so they just were like, okay, I'm looking forward to hearing her next one and her next one. And so it was really good. And I just made a name for myself. And those sorts of things are one of the best things you can do in a networking setting. Like you don't have to meet everybody. You don't have to try to be everywhere. But when it is your turn to speak up, you should know what you're saying. You should just challenge yourself to say something so you can start to articulate that message, because I'm still not perfect at it, but throughout the cruise, I did have quite a few people come up to me and compliment me on my stage presence and how I shared a lot of value that was really helpful and stuff that they took notes on. And there was this other cute girl. She's a relationship coach and, she's beautiful. She stands out in a crowd, but we were passing each other in the buffet and she said, "You did such a good job." And I said, "I have to thank you because every time you nod your head at what I'm saying," I said, "that just makes my confidence go up knowing that, more and more people agree with it." So that is always something that helps me move forward and be confident in my message. And of course, again, it's not perfect, but it's always really beneficial when it comes to sharing your message. So if you are interested in the Marketers Cruise, I can give you the link for it. It is an affiliate thing. Like if I tell enough people about it, you get stage time and all of that. But I honestly don't even know if I'm going next year because I want to prioritize my family travel over business travel. But if you do want a link, I can totally share it with you. But okay, so now I want to share with you the question that I asked. And this question was on behalf of my daughter, Leah. So you'll hear that. I recorded with Leah. I had her listen to it, and then we had a little bit of a conversation too. So the theme of this podcast is not really, there's not one big theme, but I hope that it's entertaining for you when it comes to, making your own decisions and becoming a better boss over the business that you're creating. Hey, my beautiful people. The message of waking up and showing up is yours for the taking. In fact, it's completely free. All you got to do is take this quick action. I've recorded my entire audiobook and I'd love for you to consume it between episodes. Head to marcybarker.com to get instant access to the accountability code Wake Up and Show Up. So, without further ado, I want you to enjoy this clip of me asking a question and then the conversation with Leah afterwards. Hey there, I am Marcy Barker. I'm a life and business coach and I specialize in accountability. I have 4 daughters. They are 10, 12, 14, and 16, and they are on my payroll. And they have retirement accounts set up and ready to go. And every month we get their paycheck and we allocate for spending, saving, and giving. And so this question comes from my 10-year-old. She was so excited to invest in Roblox and Reddit. And she said, "Mom, if you're going on a marketer's cruise with all these rich people, can you just ask them what I should invest in next?" So if you could tailor your answer to a 10-year-old and maybe give us the ticker symbols for what you're doing, that would be awesome.
I love your daughter.
They have a great mom.
They do.
Thank you.
So I've got an 8-year-old and I'm teaching him this stuff, and I would not make any specific recommendations to you, but I will tell you that the best money that I personally ever spent in that whole realm is to just join the Motley Fool at their lowest level. Right? Anybody else a fool?
My mom.
Every year.
Right? Yeah. So just, every year.
Best newsletter for $100 you can get for financial.
It is unbelievable.
And then change your email and do a different credit card, and then it stays $100.
And then go through and see the recommendations and do a gut check yourself with your daughters. Don't buy everything they say. Go through and gut check. And then it's a great way to get them involved and have them see stuff that, oh, well, I see that all the time. We use this. We should, and then, tie those conversations back to as their account goes up and up and up and say, okay, here's when we did right. Here's when we did wrong. Like, interesting.
Yeah.
That will be a lot of fun too.
Thank you. My husband had a reminder she was not allowed to use Reddit, even though she owned it.
Good about that.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, how's it going? So one of the things that I've done is I've invested in crypto over, I would say, the last 2 years, and I've seen the market go up and down, up and down, up and down. Right now is the best time to invest in crypto. And actually, Lou and I were talking yesterday, and we were like, "Oh, hey, how's crypto doing?" And we kind of like wrote out. You could invest in Bitcoin, Solaris, or you could also do the smaller coins, the meme coins. And I would start with the meme coins because the barrier of entry is much lower than like Bitcoin at almost 200,000. And so just look into Coinbase. You can do your own personal investing. You don't need to have a brokerage or anything like that. And it's going to be a lot easier for her to kind of understand the market and play around with pennies instead of, thousands of dollars. And
What if she has thousands of dollars?
if she has thousands of dollars, then do Bitcoin and call it.
For a small portion.
Thank you.
Kai Jacobson, 150 crypto. But I'd go for one. I started Bitcoin at $200 and XRP right now. It's $3.30. Buy as much of that as you can. But more importantly, I always say if you're investing, invest in yourself. Have her put twice as much money into her education than just the crypto. And I'm a fan of Bill Walsh, and he lets children come for free.
Well.
Join and bring her for free and get her trained by some of the best.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Deborah Morrison, retired 42 years certified financial planner and asset manager. I do have Bitcoin investing, I do that, and yet I like the Standard & Poor's 500, and I also like systematic investing because it teaches a very important lesson rather than timing. Peter Lynch, who successfully managed Fidelity Magellan for 1 million years, said he never found anyone, that included himself, that got market timing more than once in a row. Out when you get back in when you get out. Don't be jacking around with that.
Yeah.
Which is going to happen with any particular single item purchase. So if you have her invest in the Standard & Poor's 500 and an exchange traded fund and watch that thing pay a dividend, and the next month, and she looks at her statement and she has more and more units. I train people to focus on the units, being a unit accumulator, not, I put 10,000 in and I only have 8. Don't be jacking around with the end value. You're in it for the long game, especially your daughter. So she sees that. This is very and it's like, again, antithetical. I think that's the word. You want the market to go straight down when you're systematically investing. You're investing $100 a month and what you're buying is $10 a share. You got 10 shares the first month. The second month, let's say drastic, it goes 50% down. It's worth $5. You're still investing the 100. Now you have 20 shares. Last month you had 10 shares. This should be celebration. Oh my God, I'm only in it 2 months and I have 30 shares. And that gives the impetus and we're putting the focus on Greg Salavo. Be a unit accumulator. And I use Swan to invest in Bitcoin, and I'm investing $150 a month and I have a Bitcoin. Like, it's stupid easy. Swan.com. I think I even have an affiliate link, but who cares? And I've been Bitcoin only for 100 years because Corey, the head of it, said, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, everything else is shitcoin.
No more jacking around.
Verbatim, that's exactly what I was going to say. Can we give it up for great parenting and a beautiful family? Thank you, Marcy. And I'll say real estate, and more specifically, leverage income producing real estate. If there's objections or concerns, well, I don't want to assume she's not in. Is she in real estate already?
We do have an Airbnb.
Okay.
That's yeah.
Just more of it. There's 5 characteristics of leverage income producing real estate that no other asset class has, and it sounds like she's already got a lot of publicity opportunities for what she's doing at 10.
Yeah. If she was here, she would not give up the mic. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Mic check, mic check. All right, Leah, you just listened to people answer a question that I asked for you on the Marketers Cruise. What's your opinion on what you heard?
So I didn't actually say that question, but can I swear real quick?
No, you cannot swear.
Okay. I was gonna say I liked the part especially when she said coin, that S-word coin. That was really funny.
Bitcoin, everything else is a crap coin.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you learn anything from those answers?
I did. I think you never can really predict when the market will go up and down, and I think that's really cool because it kind of is like, get it in the dips and you might get all the rises. Because my dad invested in Reddit right before it blew up, but he invested when it was in the dips. And I know, like, you can't predict stuff, like how I just said, but it kind of like, in a way, like, told you to kind of know. I don't know how to explain it, but I did like it. I liked it.
Does investing right now make you want to invest even more or find different things to invest in? Or what would you say at this point in time is your strategy?
First and second, yes. And my strategy is get it while it's worthless, and you might have it while it's gold.
Okay. So what do you think is worthless right now?
I'm going to make a joke. Plastic. Just kidding. I don't know. Probably like, I mean, I am kind of new to stocks, really, because like stocks and just shares and stuff. And it's because my mom, Marcy, usually does the stuff for me. So when I just did it, I think a lot of stuff is worthless right now. Like, I can't remember, like, Yahoo stocks are really cheap, right?
Well, we looked on Yahoo Finance for different stocks, but there are some very, very cheap things you can do. So do you think that you want to invest in penny stocks is what they're called? Or would you just like keep buying shares of Reddit or Roblox or Walmart or Amazon or whatever?
I would say both, because they can both be really great. And so I would encourage you to go and buy some penny stocks and some not too expensive, but kind of expensive stocks.
So how do you buy expensive stocks?
Well, I don't.
You have to earn money.
Yeah, you have to earn money, but also if you want an easier way, what do we use?
What?
Can't remember what it's called. The thing we use to do payroll.
Oh, you're talking about for money management, we use QuickBooks and we use Greenlight and we use Charles Schwab.
Yes, Charles Schwab.
Yeah,
That's how sometimes you invest.
Okay, so my question though was getting at, if you want to invest, you actually have to make money, because you can't just go and invest unless you have money.
Yeah.
So if somebody's listening to this, what are your tips on making more money?
Find a good job, but only work when you know it's worth it, because $1 an hour for a bunch of hard work, you probably want to find a new job.
Right.
Yeah, so find a good job. Yeah. Oh, and also it really helps if you start your company, like my mother here. Yeah. She employs me, so high five.
Good job. And we have another event coming up, and you're going to help me plan it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's already 8 or 9 people registered to come.
Yeah.
All right, so this podcast is called Your Loving Kick in the Pants. Do you have any advice for people if they need some motivation or a burst of an incentive to take action? What would you say?
I mean, I would say we've been learning about goal setting in class, and I know that sounds kind of cheesy, like I'm using school stuff, but I would say split your one goal into a bunch of mini goals and kind of like give yourself like mini celebrations every time you reach the mini goals, and it feels really great, and that's kind of your incentive, because you want that feeling of, hey, I just did this is so cool. And so yeah,
I like that. So I haven't told you guys, but because I just walked in the door for my cruise, I wrote another 30,000 words in my book. Thank you. That's what I went on the cruise for. And what was crazy is I started writing my book December 1st. So from December 1st to January 10th, so, 40 days or whatever, it took me 40 days to write 30,000 words. And then I went on the cruise and I wrote 30,000 words in 7 days.
Yeah.
So I like what you say about breaking up into goals, because I knew that if I was going to hit my goal of 30,000, which is a lot, it was kind of an audacious goal. I knew that I had to write around 4,000 words a day, and I did it. So that's good.
Just a quick question. When you write, do you like type everything and then go back and fix typos?
I'm using Google Docs, and so sometimes that will tell me when my words are off, but I don't typically go back and look at my words until I'm all done. Because when I'm writing, I just get into a flow. And if there's a lot of typos, then that's fine. I don't care. That's why I'm going to hire an editor.
Okay.
They can fix all that.
Nice.
What about you? What prompted that question?
I don't know. You just 30,000 words, and I love writing. So I was just quick. And yeah, I mean, I know that flow. I love to write. So,
you know what? I wrote a story in the book. It's called Mastering Focus and Flow. And I decided to dedicate that story to my fellow ADHD friends. Not fellow, I don't have ADHD, but you and Daddy do. So, yeah, focus and flow. I'm excited for you to read it. I'm going to have you read it and give me your opinion on it. And you can help me edit that story before it goes in the book. Mm-hmm. Sound good?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to read it anyways, but will you pay me?
To edit or to read it?
To read it.
Yes, but you have to do something with it. Like you have to make me social media posts or find gold nuggets or advertise for me.
Can you tell me what gold nuggets are?
Gold nuggets is like, it's an expression that comes from when people used to look for gold, and it's called panhandling, I think. And they would put their pans into the river and they would shake out all of the rocks and stuff. And they realized that even if they found little specks of gold,
rocks, right?
Little specks of gold is better than a whole lot of dirt. So sometimes people would say, I found a gold nugget. So it's like you can do all the work and hear a lot of stuff, see a lot of dirt, see a lot of rocks, but gold nuggets are worth it. So you think you can find some gold nuggets in my book?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, my beautiful people, I hope you found some gold nuggets in this podcast. I'm excited to bring you more content on how to make follow-through easy and peaceful and teach you how to be more boss-minded in your own business and your life. All right, I'll see you next week for another episode of Your Loving Kick in the Pants. Thank you for listening, friends. If you got value out of this episode, I would love for you to drop a review or share this with a friend. Let's be real. Let's spread the word because we all know someone who could use your loving kick in the pants.